There we go. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I am really very excited today because I have Eva Marin from the Scottsdale area. And I am thrilled because those of us living in the Chicago area, most of the time, it's pretty cold. And Eva is going to talk to us today about what opportunities there are for us to move west. Can we still buy that second home out in Arizona? So welcome. Oh, I also want to mention that Eva is also a CSHP. She is highly trained at working with those of us that are over 60, I'll call it. So thank you for joining me, Eva. How are you today?
I'm great, Betsy. How are you?
I am good. Well, thank you. So, big $364 million question. Are there areas that are still attracting the Chicagoan to the Phoenix area?
I think there are a lot of areas in the Phoenix market that are going to be attractive, especially this time of year. As you know, today it's going to be beautiful, sunny, no clouds in the sky, and it's about 70 degrees, which for us is a beautiful day. We have, we're in the desert, and while we have mountain areas, parts of Arizona, in the Phoenix metro area, this is the sweet spot. This is the why we live here and put up with 6 months of summer weather.
Yes.
But to answer your question, I think that Arizona has been ground zero for the 55 plus retirement communities. In 1960, I think Arizona was the first one. Sun City was built by Del Webb. And today we have like 140 55 plus communities in the state.
Wow.
It's incredible.
And do they, to talk to me a little bit about them, because here we have a few, because we don't have any land.
You're building up, not
You're building up. So give me some examples about that.
Everyone knows about Scottsdale. Scottsdale is a resort community. It's a conference center community or town. And when people think of Arizona, they think of Scottsdale. They think of, all the beautiful resorts, all of the golf courses, tennis courts, pickleball, just anything that you want to do vacation-wise, they think of Scottsdale. And Scottsdale is a beautiful area, but there's so much more to Arizona than Scottsdale. You have the far north valley, you have the far east and west valley, and also south. And a lot of these 55 and older communities are in those far reaches of the valley. So if you think about Fountain Hills, if you think about Chandler, Gilbert, Queen Creek, Maricopa, Buckeye to the west, Sun City, and Sun City is massive. And like I said, that's our number one, the first one that we had. And I would say geographically, these are probably within 25 miles of the airport. If you look at that and you think of, okay, where's a starting point that for those that have been here?
Yeah. That's what I wanted to know. So if you fly into Phoenix, you don't want to then, drive to Sedona. We want to be somewhere where, and if you're from Chicago, 40-minute ride we're good with that.
It's the normal ride,
it's
right?
The norm. Nobody lives next to O'Hare. Well, yes, people, but we're used to driving to the airport. So
right. Well, we have everything from the Sun Cities on the west to and like I said, that's probably about 55,000 homes that are in 55 plus communities. And they average, they're only resale. There are no brand new homes there. They were started in the 60s. So, and they're up until 2016, they were still building there. And I would say the average price there is about $430,000. Okay. And you have golf courses, you have all the resort style amenities, but some of the newer areas, like in Buckeye was, farmland at one point. Right. And now they're starting to transition into retirement homes. They go from, there's about 3,500 homes that are in the 55 plus, and they have new and resale homes, and they're still building. And the average there is in the last 60 days is where my data's coming from.
Mhm.
The average is about 660,000. So that's a
Wow.
little, that's a little bit more.
That is a little
And
more.
then you got Pebble Creek, which is a beautiful community in the Goodyear area, also West Valley, and they are an average, once again, about 645.
645,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
So,
because I know, okay, so pre-COVID, you could come to Scottsdale, you could go to Scottsdale and get a two-bedroom townhouse in the threes.
yeah,
That's
those days
sort of
are
double.
a little over. If anything COVID gave us was inflated housing prices.
Right,
And
right.
our market's in a flux right now. I would say that the latest stats that I was able to come up with for November, year over year, we went from 12,000 active listings in 22, and this year we had 9,000. So that's a significant
That's
drop.
a significant drop.
But what's interesting, average sales price, or not average sales price, average days on market, 58 last year, 51 this year. A little bit of a difference.
Yeah,
But what was interesting is last year, our average sales price in Maricopa County, this is the
yeah.
whole county, was 614 last year. This year it's 668.
Yeah, yeah, it's going up. It's
It's
gone up.
going up. Thank you, inflation, right?
Yeah,
And
well, and
everything
thank
else.
you. I think COVID, the remote working
Mm-hmm.
has really helped the warm weather states because we don't need to be we don't need to be in New York, Chicago, LA. We can work from our poolside.
That's the beauty
And
of it.
that
That's
is the
there are
beauty.
some wonderful things that we did get from COVID as well as some really bad
Right,
things. But
right.
and in the other communities, we have the East Valley communities of some Gilbert, some Chandler, um, province, which is in Maricopa. Those are in the farther reaches of the valley. You can still have some newer houses, but then also in Mesa, you have some of the older, still very nice communities with all the resort style type of amenities. And, they're averaging anywhere from the lows in the older communities of average is about 320 in
Oh,
Dreamland Village, smaller, built in the probably 60s and
okay.
70s, to the newer, much more resort style, averaging probably in the mid fives.
What about like condos?
We
Is
have an
this,
abundance of
okay, so
condos.
is that a different price point or are you talking condos
These
here?
are single family homes.
Okay, so what if
These
we
are
go two bedroom, two bath condo?
probably depends on the area, but a two-bedroom, two-bath condo in Scottsdale is still going to be in the 500,000s.
Hmm.
But in the far reaches of the valley, it's probably
Hmm.
450.
Right,
There's still, if you have those amenities, the communities where
right,
that
right.
all being
We're not
equal.
talking about just a random
Yep.
condo that's a walk-up building with,
Right.
but if it's with the amenities, it would still two bedroom, two bath in the 4 to 5 range.
Mhm. And
And
of course, it depends. Those would be probably newer ones, though,
okay,
than the older ones. The older ones you might still be able to get. I know I personally have a one in South Scottsdale, which is walking distance from the baseball stadium and restaurants and entertainment district, and it's a two-bedroom, one bath, and it's in the 350s. But
yeah,
that's a mid-century modern, so it was built in the 50s. So it
yeah,
just depends on what the person is looking for. And we have a variety. There's so much to do when the weather's nice. There's
yeah.
so much to do. Pickleball's exploded here. I don't know if you have
Oh
that.
God, it's exploded here as well. It is. everywhere,
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. The top golf things to do, just beautiful golf communities. I played a couple weeks ago and it's like, oh, this is heaven. This is where I
Yes.
want to be. So
That's it. Well, I will tell you, my husband would want nothing more than to be in one of those golf communities. And
they're just so fun. And you know, we're kind of the center of the state. And we've got Flagstaff to the north, which if you want mountains, if you want to ski by any stretch of the or cooler in the summer,
yes.
we have Flagstaff, we have Prescott. To the south, we have Tucson. Those are all very mountainous areas and beautiful communities.
So would you say, I don't know if you know this, because would you say the Tucson area is less expensive than the
I
Phoenix
would.
area?
I think it is. It's
Okay.
a little more, it's kind of an eclectic area. The university is probably the biggest employer down there
Okay.
and students everywhere, but it's a beautiful campus. But there's, I would say a single family home not in a community is still the mid prices are maybe 400. So
Hmm.
a little different.
Right, right.
In the communities, I haven't researched that
Yeah,
area, so I
yeah.
couldn't give you that, but there's an abundance and it's beautiful down there.
Yeah, yeah. I think we may start seeing more people go there
Mhm.
as I mean, this is just a gut feeling as they start feeling, maybe Scottsdale's, they're looking for something else where there's activities, but not as busy as,
Crowded,
yeah,
and the one thing that, Tucson is like Phoenix was probably 25 years ago.
yeah,
There's one highway in and out, and it is busy.
yeah,
Whereas Phoenix now has evolved, and the surrounding cities has evolved. We have probably 5, um, freeways,
freeways, right,
major arteries. And but Phoenix, it used to just kind of go around. The I-10 used to go around the city, and it wasn't practical getting from
right.
point A to point B. But we've kind of grown into it.
Well, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. And
It is. It
I
is.
encourage everyone to, live their dream and think about taking the chance, at least call you, look. The other thing I wanted to mention about moving to a state like Arizona, you have lots and lots of people that are transplanting there, that are moving there. So it's not like everybody they've known it in Chicago, everybody's known each other for 60 years, and it may be more difficult to make new friends and that kind of thing. I'm assuming in Arizona.
You know, there are so many clubs. There are so many opportunities. I wish I was retired, kind of, because there's so much to do and there's lots of places to meet people, especially in these communities, in active adult communities. There are fitness centers, there are classes, but even outside of them,
Mhm.
um, there's just an abundance of things to do. And when you're outside, you know, if you like to kayak, there's lakes all around us, and
Wow.
there's clubs that go to these lakes, and there's probably 6 lakes within an hour drive.
Wow.
And so
That's
you can go
awesome.
out in the morning and take your kayak, not necessarily probably in the winter,
Well,
but in the summer, you can do that. There are hiking clubs. There are, there's just an abundance of opportunities to get connected with people. And I do know that there are some, like, we are a hotspot for Canadian visitors. And so a lot of people that maybe are friends at home, when they come out to Arizona, they connect with people from the same areas.
yeah.
And I've heard they're very inclusive. So
Yes.
it's
Oh,
just easy to get connected and do things.
that's great. That's good to hear. I know. Um, all of a sudden, somebody was screaming here in my office, and I lost my train of thought. But yes, many, many Chicagoans moved to the area as well, and I know that they move there, and then they have very quickly they find people from Chicago as well. So
Well, I think even professional sports, we have professional basketball, we have hockey, we have
yes,
football, and we have baseball. And I
yes,
do know that there are certain followers of teams that have their bar or their restaurant that they go to every Sunday, and they all congregate. They watch together. So that's kind of
yes,
fun
that
too.
is yes, and it's the home of the Cubs spring training. So there you go.
Spring training is a beautiful time. I remember growing up here. It
Mm,
used to be if you decided you wanted to go to a game one day, you went, took the day off, and then you went. Here, you have to buy the tickets months in advance because they sell out.
yep,
It's huge. And if
it
you
is
just spontaneously decide you want to go,
not
very
happening.
good chance you won't get a ticket.
Right, right. Well, now there's the whole new Sloan field and
Yep.
the old stadium or field or was
Yep.
quite different.
And spring training is in all parts of the valley. That's in the West Valley. It's in Scottsdale. It's in Tucson. It's in Mesa. It's spread out all over the valley. So depending upon where someone buys, where they land, what part
Where
of the
they
valley,
land.
there's football, not football, baseball.
Well, and they can pick their spot by their baseball team too. I'm sure
They
people
can
do
do that.
that often, often.
And we have a lot. I mean, last year we held the Super Bowl, and that was huge. This year we're hosting the NCAA basketball finals,
Oh,
which is
you are.
huge. Yes.
That is huge. That
There are a
is
lot of festivals that go on during the nice warm winter, months. The Barrett Jackson Auto Show is a big draw for people. Sports, um, just
yeah,
music festivals,
yes.
everything.
So nice. It's and you're a college town as well. So
We are.
you've got the
We've got Arizona State in
yeah,
Tempe. We've
yeah.
got University of Arizona in Tucson, and we've got NAU in Northern Arizona University in the Flagstaff area, and many, many other smaller
Both
schools.
schools. Yes, yes. I visited a school in Prescott, very
Oh,
interesting
okay.
school up there. I can't
Was
even
it the aeronautical one?
no, I can't even remember what it is right
Okay.
now, but it was a unique small college, and but it was a beautiful drive and a beautiful, beautiful
Yes.
place. So
It's yeah, I'm born and raised here, so I feel very lucky to live here in the desert.
well, it is a fabulous place to be, and when I visit, I always feel like I am west of the tension line, and everything is the sun is beautiful, and
Yep.
just the whole vibe is nice and calm and welcoming.
Well, anyone that has any interest in, looking into opportunities for investing in Arizona, second home, just an investment property, I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'm happy to provide any kind of data to support research prior to making that decision.
That would be great. That would be great because that's a whole nother thing about investment properties and Airbnb and just as a rental. So I
Yep.
so appreciate that. And this podcast will be on my website, and anyone can reach out to me or Eva, and I will get her information to you. And I so appreciate you taking the time to do this and enlightening us about Arizona. It's
You are
time
so
for
welcome,
everybody
and
to
thank you
start
for the
thinking about
opportunity.
yes. Okay, I want to thank everybody and have a very safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye, 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 bye.